In the land where the Red Sea kisses the shore, Eritrea rises rich with ancient lore. Mountains whisper secrets, deserts sing the past. Through struggles and triumphs we're steadfast. Eritrea's destiny, a journey beyond time. In your heartbeat I find the ancient rhyme. From Asmara streets to Massawa's embrace, our history's written in
You know, it's fascinating how quick people are to throw around that North Korea of Africa label when talking about Eritrea.
But when you actually dig into the history, it's so much more complex than that.
I mean, think about it. Here's a country that endured Italian colonization with systematic racial segregation, then British administration, and then Ethiopian annexation.
That's over half a century of foreign powers basically deciding their fate.
And you wonder why they might be a bit skeptical of foreign intervention, right?
And then you look at something like the 2002 Boundary Commission ruling on Badme. The international community completely failed to enforce it.
It's like history keeps repeating itself, reinforcing this deep-seated mistrust. Let's talk about what's really driving Eritrea's security focus.
I mean, when you've got Ethiopia next door with 120 million people and growing military capabilities, including new Su-30 fighters, you can't just ignore that.
And it's not just about military hardware, it's about survival.
Think about it. When you're facing genuine existential threats, your priorities shift dramatically.
The whole compulsory service thing that everyone criticizes?
Well, when you're in one of the most volatile regions in the world, maintaining stability becomes pretty crucial.
You know what's interesting? Despite all the criticism, they've actually managed to maintain relative stability in a region that's constantly in flux. Here's something that might surprise people. Eritrea has actually been pretty active in promoting regional stability.
Did you hear about that trilateral meeting they hosted in October 2024 with Somalia and Egypt?
That's not exactly the behavior of an isolated pariah state, is it?
And their support for Somalia's national army through training assistance, that's been huge.
Somalia's leadership has actually acknowledged this as a crucial contribution to regional stability.
You compare that to what's happening in Sudan with the civil war, or Somalia's ongoing struggle with al-Shabaab.
It really makes you think about how we're measuring stability and cooperation in the region. The way Western policies have approached Eritrea, honestly, it's been pretty counterproductive.
These sanctions they've imposed, they're not just ineffective, they're actively harmful to ordinary citizens.
You're basically creating new humanitarian challenges while trying to solve perceived political ones.
And then there's this whole push for regime change.
Have we learned nothing from Iraq, Libya, and Afghanistan?
It's like we keep trying to apply the same failed solutions without understanding the local context.
These policies are just pushing Eritrea further away from any meaningful dialogue. So what's the way forward? Well, first we need to acknowledge Eritrea's historical context and sovereignty.
It's about building trust through consistent, respectful engagement.
You know what's interesting? Eritrea has shown it can be a stable partner when approached correctly.
Look at their diplomatic initiatives and internal stability. There's real potential there.
The geopolitical landscape in the Horn of Africa is evolving, and there's a real opportunity here.
But it requires moving beyond these preconceived notions and working towards actual understanding.
It's about finding those areas of mutual interest and benefit rather than trying to force change from the outside.